Okay, class, let's take a look at number 7. We're told here that there is a connection between the equation for a linear function y equals ax plus b and its table if we let x equal 0, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Okay, so let's see if we can spot that connection. Let's go ahead and let's get our marker first and determine what this connection is. And if we can make this connection, we're going to simplify our graphing exercises further down the road. So let's see. We have y is equal to ax plus b. We know that's the form, okay? And actually, I wanted to use a thicker marker again. So let's start over. Now y is equal to ax plus b. It's good to have the form up there. The more you see it, the more you get used to it, the more you recognize it, even when it comes in different, what appears to be a different form. So now we're going to make a table, or we're going to let x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to use an example, and that example is y is equal to 3x plus 5. So we have 3x plus 5, okay? And we have a table, okay? Our table is, let's just write it over here, our x and y. And we're going to put 0, 1, 2, 3. And we have values of 5, 8, 11, and 14. Okay, so this is the information, and they go dot, 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 meaning and so forth. You can go on and on. So, in what way does the number 3, that's the a in the equation, appear in the table? And the second question is, where does the number 5, which is the b in the equation, appear in the table? Now, these are two different questions. If you just read the first one, that's fine, but really take note to how they say it. In what way does the number 3 appear in the table? So you might say, well, in what way? It appears right here, doesn't it? Well, it not necessarily, okay? That's the x value, and that's the only 3 that we have. But that's not the way it appears. If you took a deeper look at the numbers that are going on in the y values, you're going to notice that each of these are increasing by 3, okay? So this wouldn't have been the answer we were looking for, okay? This was the answer we're looking for, that each of these are increasing by 3 as we go. So it's each value, as x went up by 1, the y value increased by 3. Now, just take a quick look and see why is that happening. Well, we're multiplying by 3. So in the first case, we started off with 0. So it was 0 times 3 plus 5, which gave us 5. But now we added a 3, right? We said 1 times 3, so that's 3 plus 5 is 8. Then we said 2 times 3, so there was 2 3's. 2 times 3, which is 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. And then we did it again with 3, which gave us 14. So we were simply adding 3's all the way across. So that's interesting to know. Now, where specifically does, and it says, where does the number 5 appear in the table? Well, in that case, it appears right here. Now, I know that was we didn't do that here, but notice the question was in what way versus where does the number 5. So, but it's important to note that the 5 is there. And again, we know that simply because when x is 0, well, we know that it should be here because when x is 0, we multiply 3 times x. Y is going to equal to 5 because no matter what this is, we're always adding 5. So in this case, it was 0. So we're adding 5. So that's why that 5 value is there. Okay. So now we're to use your answers to parts A and B to discover equations for the linear functions having the following tables. Now they're just going to give us tables. Okay, so we have an x and y table. Our first one is 0, 1, 2, 3 again. But now we have values of 8, 10, and let's see, 12. I'm sorry, I'm kind of moving away from, I want it to be as vertical as possible, but these are the corresponding values for the x in the y table. So let's see. Well, based off the knowledge we had here, we understood that whatever incremented here And here, what do we see? Well, we see 2, and we see 2 again, and then we see 2. So, so the 3 is now a 2, which means that in the y equals ax plus b form, the 3 was the a. Now we have a 2, so we can go ahead and write y is equal to 2x. Okay? Similarly to the same way we used the 3. In fact, I probably should have written this the other way, and maybe you'll see it. I'll do the next one that way. But then, now, what else do we know? We know that this value here, the 8, represents the b value, which in this case it was 5. So we can say plus 8. So we can say the answer here is y is equal to 2x plus 8, because this is increasing by 2, and here is the b value. So the a value is the increment that we see here, and the b value is this actual value at 0. Okay, so we go ahead and do our next one. And as I promised, I will move over my table. Okay, and let's move it over here. So we have an x and a y value. Let's put 0, 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and put the values 1, 8, 15, and 22. Okay. And again, we're looking for the a and we're looking for the b. Well, we understood the a value here is found here. Between these two, we find 7, and that's 7, and another 7. So we can say the a value is equal to 7, and the b value is found right here, and that would be 1 plus, 7. That's the a value. It's being multiplied by x. Then we add the b value. Okay, so we have the a value and the b value being represented as 7 and 1. Okay, let's go ahead and do our next one. You can see this is a fairly simple exercise if you pay attention to the details and just map it out. We're just mapping out. We're saying, well, what was the value here and what was the value here? All right, let's see. We have 6, 10, 14, and 18. 6, 10, 14, and 18. Now, just as I wrote the 6 and the 10, you're already thinking, well, there's 4, and we see the 4 popping up, the difference between these. So we can start off with y is equal to 4 is the a value times x. And what is the value of y at 0? It would be plus 6. So our equation would be y is equal to 4x plus 6. Okay, let's do our last one. And our last one gives us 4, 10, 16, and again, once you go from 4 to 10, you've already seen the basis where we're getting the information. You would have already probably thought of the equation, but we have 4, 10, 16, and 22, and the difference here is 6, 6, and 6. So 4 to 10 is 6, to 16 is 6, to 22 is 6, and our value over here is 4. So what would our equation be? Well, y is equal to 6, which is this value, all right, x times x plus this value 4. So that would be our answer there. Okay,